The clinician is planning an intervention to increase tacting responses. Initially, the clinician should use the baseline data to plan a contingency that ensures the client will tact often enough to contact reinforcement in the natural environment. B, the clinician should use the baseline data to plan a contingency that ensures an increase will occur quickly. C, the clinician should use the baseline data to plan a contingency that ensures a future increase will be maintained when the intervention is removed. Or D, the clinician should use the baseline data to plan a contingency that ensures the client will contact reinforcement. D is the correct answer. So the clinician should use the baseline data to plan a contingency that ensures the client will contact reinforcement. And I'll tell you why this is the case. Although A is true, like we should plan a contingency that's going to contact reinforcement often enough in the natural environment, then truthfully, C is true too. We want to plan a contingency that ensures a future increase will be maintained because A and C are essentially the same. If we're not meeting what is required for the natural environment, then it's not going to be maintained when the intervention is removed. So A and C are both right, but D is more right. And I'll tell you why. When we read it and we ask ourselves, what is it asking me? The key word there is initially. So it's like planning an intervention to increase tacting responses. What do we do first? Even though by the time that that intervention is ready to be removed, we want to make sure that it's reached the level that are actually going it's going to need in the natural environment. In the beginning, if we're doing a reinforcement procedure, we have to make sure that it contacts reinforcement by being an easily achieved criterion. So we're going to use the baseline data to create a threshold of which reinforcement occurs that makes it where it's going to be easy for that person to achieve the criteria needed for reinforcement. Because if they don't achieve it, the increase isn't going to happen. If we don't contact the reinforcer or potential reinforcer, it can't actually reinforce behavior in terms of increasing the future rate or duration or decreasing latency of that response. So it can't do any of those things if we don't contact it. So looking back at this is the key word. The thing that changed your answer from either A or C to D being the most right answer is initially. Initially, we just got to contact reinforcement and we got to use the baseline data to do that. So if this had said the clinician should use the baseline data to plan a contingency that will ensure the person contacts reinforcement, that would have been the right answer. But because that's not present, we choose the most right or least bad answer, which is we should use the baseline data to plan a contingency that ensures the client will contact reinforcement. So that's the version of this. And then A and C become secondarily still true, but because of the word initially, we're going to choose D as the correct answer.